What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Just before we get into the video, don't forget to like or dislike the video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment down below. Not all surprises in life are pleasant, particularly when you're a wrestling fan. Here are 10 times a wrestling promotion surprised, disappointed, and infuriated fans. Number 10. Hornswoggle is the Raw Anonymous General Manager. In June 2010, an anonymous figure began setting up matches on Raw via text to spokesperson Michael Cole. Who was this mystery person and what was their agenda? The anonymous general manager disappeared in 2011 only to resurface in 2012 when their identity was finally revealed. Turns out, the anonymous general manager was none other than the WWE's resident little bastard Hornswoggle. Former WWE writer Kevin Eck claims the original choice was Kevin Nash, who was even signed to TNA at the time the anonymous general manager was active. He would come to the WWE after his TNA contract ended and reveal his identity. That didn't happen, and Hornswoggle was chosen instead, after someone flippantly suggested him. Reportedly, there was even talk of Hornswoggle transforming into a power-mad character named Lou Manfredini. But Hornswoggle couldn't pull off the character during rehearsals, so the angle was jettisoned. Number 9. The mystery partner is SAVIO VEGA. In 1998, Shawn Michaels was scheduled for an 8-man tag team bout alongside D-Generation X partner Triple H and the New Age Outlaws. They were to face Stone Cold Steve Austin, Terry Funk, Mankind, and Owen Hart at the No Way Out pay-per-view. Unfortunately, Michaels had suffered a serious injury earlier in the year during a casket match with The Undertaker. With WrestleMania 14 around the corner, the WWF hoped Michaels might have enough left for one more match so that he could drop the WWF Championship in the ring. Thus, Michaels was pulled from the match, with fans being told a mystery man was waiting to face Austin and his team. A man who had a past with Austin and had beat him before. The only problem was, this man turned out to be SAVIO VEGA.
Representing Los Boricuas, SAVIO VEGA!
A superstar who was only a lower mid-carder by this point in his career. Yes, SAVIO had defeated Austin in a strap match during Austin's early run in the WWF, but he was hardly the mystery man fans were hoping for. Number 8. Mr. McMahon's surprise son. Here, Vince McMahon discovered he had a long-lost son working in the WWE. Consequently, Mr. McMahon began his search for his supposed son amongst the WWE superstars. Wrestling legend has it that Ken Kennedy was slotted for the role, but Kennedy's wellness policy violations angered McMahon, knocking him out of the story. Kennedy would have received a monster push in the storyline, but that's not how things turned out. Instead, the WWE went to Plan B and looked to Hornswoggle to salvage the storyline. Wrestling fans weren't overwhelmed by the swerve, and the angle ended with Hornswoggle being revealed as Finley's son, rather than that of wrestling's genetic jackhammer. Number 7. The return of Razor Ramon and Diesel. When Jim Ross told WWF fans that Razor Ramon and Diesel were returning to the company that made them famous, the wrestling world went insane. How had the WWF managed to re-sign 2 stars that had just left for WCW had everyone baffled, ranging from the dirt sheets to WCW executives. September 1996 saw Jim Ross, now playing as a heel, debuting Razor and Diesel, complete with trademark music and look, save for one difference. They weren't portrayed by Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, but Rick Bogner and Glenn Jacobs. The fans immediately pooped on the angle, enraged that the WWF would try and pass off 2 imposters as the real thing. The new Razor and Diesel became the wrestling equivalent of New Coke, with both marketing plans leaving a bad taste in consumers' mouths. Number 6. I Did It for The Rock. In 1999, the WWF wrote Stone Cold Steve Austin off TV by having a mystery driver run him over at Survivor Series, thus allowing Austin to take time off to recover from much needed neck surgery. In 2000, the WWF finally revealed who had taken Austin out of action for so long, and fans couldn't wait for the big reveal. What they got was the figurative equivalent of a stink face, as Rikishi was revealed as the assailant, claiming he did it for The Rock, and all the other Samoan wrestlers who had been held back by the WWF. The once lovable, dancing Rikishi's heel turn made no sense, and ultimately, the WWF threw Triple H into the equation, revealing he had manipulated Rikishi. The result was more angry fans, and the WWF was forced to turn Rikishi babyface again, hoping the fans would forget things. Number 5. The Black Scorpion is who? WCW's Who is the Black Scorpion angle had fans guessing who the mystery man from Sting's past could be. Sting's early partnership with the Ultimate Warrior had some fans guessing the Scorpion might be this big name from Sting's past. That likely motivated WCW to tease such a reveal, despite Warrior being in the WWF at the time. Over the next few months, the Black Scorpion taunted Sting. When the Scorpion's identity was eventually revealed, fans discovered the magical mystery man was none other than Sting's arch-rival, Ric Flair. WCW's attempt to bring someone in with name recognition had failed, so once again, the Nature Boy was called upon to save WCW's bacon. Unfortunately, the build-up and anticipation for someone else was too great, and even Slick Rick couldn't save this angle. Number 4. The Fourth Horseman. The Four Horsemen's legendary run in Jim Crockett Promotions had inspired books and documentaries, with fans loving the original bad boys of wrestling badassery and party-hardy lifestyle. The Horsemen were a proven commodity, thus when fans learned the Horsemen were returning to action, they were understandably excited. Unfortunately, what they got was so shocking, Horsemen fans are still reeling today. In 1993, the Horsemen reformed with Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, Ole Anderson, and Pretty Paul Roma. WCW fans did a double take as they saw the former WWF mid-carder, and that's being charitable, placed in what was supposed to be wrestling's elite group. As we've seen with wrestlers like JBL, a performer can sometimes rise to the occasion. But Paul Roma didn't. Instead, his run in the Horsemen became known as the group's darkest hour. Number 3. Who is the Shockmaster? When Sting, Dustin Rhodes and Davey Boy Smith promised a teammate to help them in their upcoming War Games match against Vader, Sid Vicious and the team of Kane and Cole, aka Harlem Heat, fans were intrigued. On a flair for the gold, fans and wrestlers alike laughed as Fred Ottman, the artist formerly known as Tugboat, smashed through the wall, only to trip and fall on his behind with his glitter-painted Stormtrooper helmet falling off. The incident became one of wrestling's biggest unintentional jokes, and while fans laughed initially, they weren't laughing when they realized the Shockmaster wasn't making a one-time appearance. Number 2. The Gobbledygooker. 1990's Survivor Series promised a literally and figuratively big surprise, with fans wondering what could be in that giant egg. Could it be Ric Flair? Godzilla? Barney the dinosaur's wrestling cousin Barfy? No, the surprise was the Gobbledygooker, a giant anthropomorphic turkey who popped out of the egg, causing the fans in the Hartford Civic Center to immediately start booing.
What in a world? Oh my God! What?
The Gooker would go on to become a defining moment of WrestleCrap to name their coveted award for the worst in wrestling, the Gooker Award. The Gooker also led the insane rumor that The Undertaker was originally supposed to play him. Hector Guerrero, the wrestler tasked with playing the Gooker, has disputed this though, pointing out there was no way Mark Calloway could have fit in the suit. Either way, the Gooker's legend lives on. And number 1, the higher power revealed. The Attitude Era had so many great angles that it's hard to keep track of them. One angle that seemed headed for the top of the list was the mystery of who the higher power was. Fans speculated who the mystery man could be, who was guiding The Undertaker and his Ministry of Darkness in a campaign to gain control of the WWF from Vince McMahon. Names like Jake the Snake Roberts and Ted DiBiase circulated in discussions, but few suspected who it actually was.
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch! What? It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
In one of wrestling's stupidest swerves and surprises, fans learned McMahon had engineered the plot to stick it to Stone Cold Steve Austin yet again. The reveal made no sense and ruined one of the most suspenseful mysteries in wrestling history. Well guys, there you have it. 10 times a wrestling promotion's surprise disappointed and infuriated fans. Did we miss any out? Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.